And then I'll be picking up all the trash here. That's all of it. Yeah, crazy one. The battlefield. Welcome to the air-conditioned
Welcome back to Kung Fu Maintenance, where I show you how to make the most likely repairs you'll need to make in your lifetime. If you'd like to get the latest videos, subscribe and then hit the little bell icon right at the subscribe button, and it'll notify you of any new videos when they're released for you.
Slightly different story, but I thought you might find this interesting. This is what I came home to in my driveway. It's a Western Diamondback Rattlesnake. It's a snake that causes one of the most amounts of fatalities, and very venomous snake. Definitely something that you want to deal with up front. You can't have these running around. They produce litters of 12, sometimes 25 offspring. The offspring only stay with the parents for a few hours before they're off to their races. They're pretty much deadly right away, right from the time that they're hatched. When they're hatched, they're about 12 inches long. They grow to about 4 feet long, some even as long as 5 feet. On to the next two. Rocky's all fixed up. All right. Got two janitrals. All right. I'm out of 40/5 capacitors, and I've got 2 units, 2 more Goodman units down there that will take those 40/5s most likely, and I don't have any more. So I'll have my options at that point, whether to rebuild or just measure and wait. I guess it depends on what I find. I may just have to note them and come back to them. Okay, missing a cover on this one. Not good. Missing the cover entirely. So I have one cover that I saved from another roof, but I have 2 different spots that are missing those. Looks like I might still be one short right here. Have to work something out. Okay, got my disconnects pulled. Got a fan on top for a shaky lid. I'm gonna pull the covers off and discharge the capacitors. I'm gonna check the fan baffles on these. Make sure I don't forget to check those and set that no cool call. I'm gonna discharge the capacitor. Charging it even after the power is disconnected. This one, it looks like it's got a 45 on it, and it looks like that's the wrong capacitor for this. I just looked this one up on a Bristol, so that's why I'm looking these up. It's because I have some Bristol compressors, new ones that require a 45, and it's labeled on the compressor, which is great. I wish that all the manufacturers would do that. Bristol did do that on one capacitor that I found, or one compressor, which is the compressor that I'm ordering as a replacement for my current units when I need one, and that one's labeled as a 45. Pulling the screws out here so we can get the cover off. Let's see what we got here. Just really glad we're doing this when it's cooler. And so we're going to discharge our capacitors. And then we've got another CRF4 0250 PFE. I can actually read this one. And this takes a 35, so I researched that. This one's a Copeland, I believe. Copeland. So yeah, so we've got a 35 here, and then our fan 5. So we're going to disconnect the start wire, which is the solid brown wire for the fan.
Different manufacturers,
and then the start wire
colors, so be aware of that.
For the compressor, which is the yellow wire right back there. And then one side of the hard start kit back there. Come on, buddy. It's hard to get a good angle here. Oh, it looks like I had a unit over there turn on somewhere. Oh, come on. And if I have to replace this, I'm going to start putting the start wires in the front to make it easier to do this. Okay, there's the hard start. So we're going to measure, we're going to test the hard start, we're going to test the capacitor, and then we're also going to check the fan baffles here. There we go. It's good. Looks like this one's been rigged before, but it's holding. This one seems a little weaker, but it is holding. So that's good. Okay. And this one, same thing. Got the fan motor on there. Looks like it's holding. They're a little bit weaker, but they're holding. So, all right. And this one, we were going to double check the compressor, which I'm sure is pretty sure is a 35. We're going to disconnect the start wires again. And I think all my units are pretty much at the back, which I'm going to start changing that around to make it easier in the future. As I'm replacing them, I'll put the start wires in the front. It just makes more sense for testing. Things I've figured out over time. You know, you got to start where you're at and what you understand and know from where you're at, and then over time improve. Oh, this one's got a Mars. I tested one of these the other day, solid state hard start kit, and it tested at 129 microfarads. You know, I have a feeling I'm going to be taking this puppy out, as I believe it's a 45, it's the wrong size. So we'll be able to test everything. I can still test this, whether it's any good. See some liquid also. Ouch. Like the plastic is melting here. So this was the wrong size for this. We're going to test that hard start kit, and we'll test this 45. So, and then I'm going to look up that compressor size, H23. H23B2 8QA BCA. Okay, and that's a 35. So we're going to write this inside so that no one makes that mistake again. It's a 35. 5. Yay! Yeah, I'm totally stoked to be doing this. Today's the last day that it's scheduled to be 80 degrees on the forecast. Now, they could be wrong, but let's test that 45 microfarad and see what we got. It's bad. It's got nothing. Okay, and then the 5 microfarad for the fan, 4.89. So it's good. But doing a good thing here. Okay. So now we've got a 35 and then our 5. So we're going to put all our common wires at the back now. And that way in the future when we go to disconnect, it's going to be so much easier. We were going to test this hard start kit, which, wow, it's kind of rough there. I almost may need a new common wire there. It's connected, but it's a little, hey. We'll put our start wire at the front, and we should have the other common wire coming here. We need to loosen the cable strap right there. There we go. Tighten that back up. Alright, and I've got enough room to strip this off and go back to there with the new wire lead. Alright. Okay, I lost my good wire stripper somewhere in between, but I've got, this is a good one too, just a little older. I'm actually going to strip this with my pliers as I'm just more comfortable. Less likely to lose strands. And then I'll use that to crimp it. Ay, ay, ay. Ouch, ouch, that hurt. Not much room to work with here. Okay. Alright, I think I lost any strands. Crimp on the lead here, new crimp. Again, this is not my tool of choice, but it'll work. It's got a nice crimping tool. Let's get it nice and straight right in the crimp. There we go. Nice solid crimp. Okay. Alright, that's our jumper wire. Now we got a nice solid lead there. Much better. And then we're going to test our hard start kit here. This is a Mars. I tested one of these the other day. I tested it about 129 microfarads. Okay. Regroup here. Whoop. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's test here. Gosh. Logistics. $132.4. So it seems like these are right around 130. $132. Yep. All right. So it's good. I actually like the Subco ones. I don't see them failing too much. The hard start kit is only in the circuit for a split second, and then it's taken out. I'm not sure about this particular hard start kit, but that's how it is on the other ones. All right. Okay, so we've got all that hooked up. Now I'm going to add a hard start kit to this one, which is that Mars solid state start kit. So it's going to go one lead to each side. Here goes for the common, which I can't really see in there. So now that the starts are in the front, it's going to be a lot easier to see here. There we go. Everything's connected there. And put our head start kit in right there. And now this fan cap tested out okay. I'm going to change it to Titan Pro. Just because I was going to change that wire anyway. I'll save this one for another deal. Backup. And that way this one's all a Titan Pro. Here we go. And also I was going to move that common to the back and the start wire to the front. And now in the future it's going to be a little easier, you know, to slip the leads off and test the start wire. Our 45 was bad. That 45, and then I also noticed that this compressor, the cover is missing, or the cover is not set on. So this one's got this little deal that goes like so. There we go. And then we've got this deal. Set on. Gotta move the wire a little bit so the wires pass through the bottom portion. And this gets it set up and over. And it's a little easier with the screwdriver, just like so. There we go, locked in. A little safer. One extra little safety. Alright. And that one's ready to go. And ready to test our next unit. We've already discharged it. And we've disconnected our start wires. And we're ready to test. Oh, hard start kit looks pretty tired, so we're going to test that too. It's a Subco. Okay, here's the 5 for the fan. 4.28, it's weak. So we'll replace that. And then testing the 35. We got make sure I'm getting a good read here. 0.024, it's bad. 0.024, it's bad. So, wow, so many bad capacitors. Bad, bad, bad. Okay, and then we're going to test this as well. The hard start kit. .46, so it's good. So it's kind of a good thing, and I'll switch to where the start wires are connected to the front, and that'll make dealing with this in the future and testing it just much easier. Strap's all funky. Okay. Well, you can see the bulge on that definitely bad. Wow, so many capacitors. Huh. Crazy. So we need a 35 and a 5. And this one. Okay. So here goes our common coming down from the run side of the capacitor. Get a common from the fan, common for the hard start kit. Okay. And then we're putting our start wire in the front and our other side of our hard start kit in the front. And there's that one. And then here's the start wire. That one. Good, good, good. That's just going to make this a lot easier in the future. Retighten the strap down. And then now the fan wire. Okay, and the same thing, I'm going to put the common in the back and the start in the front. There we go. And we're in. Okay, now we're ready to run. So I'll plug in my disconnects. This one has no compressor cover protector. I'll just have to stand to the side. Don't stand right in front of that where it might shoot out. There we go. Oh, I'm missing one cover. That's not good. Okay, I'll locate one of those. Okay, here goes. Again, I'm standing to this side as I do this. Test it out. Yeah. Nice. That would have been a no cool call. Not anymore. Okay, and same thing on this one. This one's got that other Mars hard start kit. Move that there. Wow, that's a rough one. Take a look at. Whew. It's almost cracked all the way through. It's like hanging on by, I don't know, might be a good idea to replace that lid. I want to put that on my notes, and I may get that. Move this back a little. It's crazy. Position that in a good spot. Oh wow, look at this. Kink in the line. Whew. Not the worst I've seen. But you heard that little high-pitched whining sound. I was like, no! Alright. We're good, we're done. 2 more units. Done. 4 units to go. Whew. Spared a lot of no cool calls. This has been really crazy. This one would have been a no cool call, the one next to it would have been a no cool call. And it's kind of like it would go, you know, one would go one day, another would go another day. Instead, we're doing this all at the same time. And all those times that, you know, I would be called off for something else, you know, which is just all around a good thing. So again, just really happy to do this now and just get ahead of the blister summer. It's also a lot less wear and tear on my roofs. I've got flat roofs, they're built up roof system. And they're a nice system, but as it ages, sometimes it develops bubbles, and want to avoid walking on those bubbles and repair them if possible. But by not walking on the roof as much, doing this all in one shot, just means less wear and tear on the roofs. All right, on to our next two.
A quick search on my YouTube channel of whatever your maintenance needs are, you should find a bunch of different material that'll be helpful to your maintenance needs.